Okay.
All right, we started the recording. So I'm going to turn it over to our speaker this morning, Docia with Handyman Connection, a franchise here in Colorado. And go ahead and take it over. I'm going to go ahead and let some more in that are sitting in the waiting room. All right, we see your screen.
Can you guys see my screen? Let me get it into, is that better? Oops.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. It's nice to meet everyone. I'm Docia Boylen. I am originally from Florida, so I am a transplant into Colorado, but I've been here going on 15 years, so I feel like it's my home. My son was born here, so I birthed the Coloradan, so that gives me a little street cred, I guess. And a funny fact about me is I have been to all of the 50 states, so I can honestly say Colorado is my favorite. So that should give me a little bit more credence to be I'll never be a native, but I don't see myself living anywhere else but Colorado. 6 years ago, I embarked on opening a franchise. I opened Handyman Connection of Golden. That's the city name that we brand under, but we service all of West Denver. So we go from Kipling all the way up to Bailey. And in September of last year, I actually moved our office into the chamber building, the Conifer Chamber here on Big Timber. So I'm next door neighbors with Jackie. So I don't know if she's in the office today, but hi. So I share space with Beth from the chamber and Bill from Optiv. So it's been quite a change for us, and we love it up here. And we've gotten a lot more business in the community after moving up here. So I thought it would be a good idea for us to talk about protecting your investment in your home. A lot of people don't do annual home inspections or maintenance on their home. And it's the one thing that you can do that will protect that investment. Basically, it will help you avoid costly repairs that might be needed, and it helps you catch things before they get out of control. And also take care of the maintenance items. And so we have a maintenance plan that we offer, but we offer this list of everything that you need to do, both internal and external for your home, whether it's an inspection or it's maintenance. So we do have these sheets available. If you want to grab one, I'm happy to, I'll put it in the chat once I'm done. We have an Excel spreadsheet where you can track what it is that you're doing. So without further ado, I'll just kind of get into it. So I'm going to go over interior inspections and maintenance, exterior inspection and maintenance, and then I'm going to briefly talk about our 285 DIY podcast, which we started. Are there any questions before I get started? Okay, and I can see the chat, so perfect. Okay, so what are we doing? What do we need to do for interior inspections? So like I mentioned, we kind of break it up between inspections and maintenance because there's things that you want to make sure that you're inspecting on an annual or biannual basis, as well as maintaining on an annual or more often basis. So I'll kind of talk about the cadence as we get into the inspections and maintenance. So what we've done is we've created a list of interior inspections that you should be looking at. These things should be done at least annually, if not more often, especially since it deals with a lot of water. We've had a great storm yesterday, so it's a good idea after a storm to go and start checking some of these things. So what are the areas that we recommend that you inspect inside your home? We want you to inspect all your water lines to faucets and toilets. This is where leaks happen. We've got older homes up here in the mountains, and so we want to make sure that those water lines are not eroding or decaying so that you've got good connections and you don't have any issues. Usually what happens is people find out that their water lines are bad when they go to shut off the water for a leak. So we want to avoid that. So checking those water lines. The other thing is some of us with basements have sump pumps. It's always a good idea to inspect your sump pump and make sure that it's working. You can always take a cup of water and pour it into the sump pump to make sure that it does kick on. You want to make sure that there's electric there and that it's pumping the water. This is something that you should do again annually or even more often to make sure that when you need that sump pump, it is working. Air ducts are another thing to take a look at. I know not everyone up in the mountains has air ducts, but if you do, this is a place where we get a lot of pollen built up. You can get animals coming in from the outside that can get into your air ducts. So making sure that your air ducts are clean is another inspection point. All of your water lines or your house, your well coming into the house is going to have a shutoff valve. And so you're going to want to make sure that you check those shutoff valves to make sure that they're working and they're actually turning the water off. They do corrode out and they need to be replaced. I would say about every 10 to 20 years. I know that's a big realm of time, but it has to do with the type of water that you have. And since we're all on mostly wells up here, we have different types of water. So someone's valve is going to last a little bit longer than someone else's. Toilets are another thing that you want to inspect. This is a place where you can leak water. And if it's not leaking into your home, it's still causing your well to run more often than normal. So having a toilet inspection is important too. Most importantly, after a big storm like we had yesterday, checking your attic, basement, and crawl space for signs of water. This is your first indication that you've got water intrusion coming in, and you might need to call Ray if it's coming from your attic so that you can get your roof looked at. The basement or crawl space or other places that attract water, and you want to check those to make sure that nothing is damp. If you do have some dampness, you can feel free to give us a call. We can always come out and take a look and see if it's a big issue or a small issue that we can help you with. Interior inspections continue with looking at your fireplace. This should be done annually. And I know that we've got, I believe that I was going to say we always use Liz Dinkle from Mountain Hearth and Patio, but I don't believe that they're a member of Mountain Women in Business. But there's several places up here on the hill. We actually don't offer fireplace inspections, but that should be done on an annual basis. I know we recently had our gas fireplace looked at for our annual inspection and found out that the glass on it was actually damaged, and it could have caused a large issue if we wouldn't have gotten that taken care of. And then finally, for those of you who do have furnaces, you need to inspect that furnace on an annual basis to make sure that it's running and not wasting electricity for you and it's blowing the warm air that you need. So this is the list of interior inspections that we want you to go through on an annual or more often basis. And then we have a list of maintenance items. So the maintenance list is actually about twice as large as the inspection list. And some of these things need to be done more often than not. So the first one that we always put on here is smoke and carbon monoxide alarm batteries. So you want to make sure that your batteries are changed every 6 months. They actually do have new combo alarms that have a 10-year battery in them, and your alarm is actually good for 10 years. So the idea is that you would never have to replace the batteries again until you actually have to replace the unit. So we are recommending that people upgrade to those. It's a pretty small investment to not have to hear those batteries going off in the middle of the night. If you do have an HVAC system, you don't want to fill it, you want to replace your filter. So I realize I have a error there, so I'll fix that in my presentation. But some of us still do have HVAC systems, and you want to replace those filters. In the summer months, you need to replace them more than in the winter months because of all the pollen that we get up here. You want to make sure that you do light bulb replacements. This is important so that it's a safety feature, and also it gives you the opportunity to make sure your light fixture is in good working order. Many people neglect their water heater. You should be draining off about a gallon of water on a monthly basis, if you remember that. And many of us up here have actual filters on our water heater that need to be replaced as well, especially with that well water. That filter is important to replace. We also want to make sure that you're cleaning your dryer vent. They actually make an attachment that goes onto your vacuum cleaner that you can use to clean out your dryer vent yourself, so that you don't have to pay someone to come out and do that. But that is the #1 cause of fires in America in people's homes, is dryer incidences. There's some cleaning that goes on here, like cleaning your dishwasher. They do make dishwasher tablets, and we do recommend that you pull out your bottom the caddy that holds the dishes and clean. There's a filter down there. It's not like a filter that you change out, but it's where debris collects. You want to make sure that you get all that debris out, and then clean your dishwasher with the dishwasher cleaner, and that'll help keep your dishwasher lasting longer. Another good thing to do on your interior maintenance is rotating your ceiling fans. So with ceiling fans, they go one direction in the winter and they go a different direction in the summer, and that's to keep the airflow running in a certain way through your house. So you want to make sure that you're rotating those fans. Another good thing to do is test your GFCI outlets. These are here to protect you from a potential electrical issue when you've got outlets that are close to water. It's also a good idea to test them because they are kind of daisy chained together sometimes. So in a kitchen, it's not uncommon for your GFCI to be connected to several other outlets in your kitchen. And so if it goes out, it'll take out multiple outlets. So all your GFCI should have a test button on them. And so you want to test them and make sure that that's working. Please do not test them using real water. I had someone call and tell me that they were testing it with real water, and I kind of freaked out. So please don't do that. Another area that people forget to check out is your range hood. A lot of times that can get caked up with grease, and it can be a reason for house fires as well. So changing and checking that filter hood. Again, it's not a filter that you replace. It's usually one that comes out and you clean it. So you want to do that. Many of our refrigerators also have water filters that need to be changed, probably a little bit more often up here with our well water, but that's a way to keep that water filtration system going. It also helps with keeping your ice nice and fresh. Along with cleaning your dishwasher, cleaning your washing machine is a good idea. The new HE washing machines, they have a door on the front of them where it collects debris, and so opening that up and cleaning it out, it can be a little nasty smelling. And so it helps get that nasty smell out of your washing machine. So we recommend that you clean out that catch area, you clean all the seals on your washing machine, and then you can use a washing machine cleaner to actually clean the washing machine. And this keeps your washing machine in perfect running condition. Sink drains. So I know this is no one's favorite thing to do, but they can get clogged. And so the idea is you want to pull the stopper out of the bottom of your sink. You want to pull it up, and you want to pull that hair and debris that gets caught in there, as well as in your showers. You're going to want to take the filter off the bottom and clean out what gets stuck in there. This will keep your drains running well and avoid any damages. Another area for water intrusion is around your grout and caulk lines in the bathroom. So thinking about your vanities, there's grout that holds it to the actual wall. You want to check those lines of caulk to make sure that they're not broken, because water can then just get into your vanity, which is not a good thing. And then checking your showers. So showers also have grout and caulk lines, and if those are damaged, it can cause water leakage to other floors of your house. So it's definitely something to take a look at. There's a rule of thumb that you can replace the caulk, every other year in your bathrooms to keep it nice and steady. And in our one of our podcast that's coming up, we're actually going to go through how to caulk correctly, because a lot of people don't understand exactly how to caulk, and it's super easy. So I'll talk about that a little bit more in our podcast section. And then changing over any light fixtures or light bulbs is something that you would want to do for interior maintenance as well. So that kind of rounds out our list of interior items that you want to take care of in your home. And then we move to exterior inspections and maintenance. So this is always good to do in the spring because we have such heavy winters. It's also a good thing to do before we go into winter to make sure that your home is ready for the weather that could be coming. So again, exterior inspections, what you want to do is you want to get outside and take a look at everything. So you can do a visual inspection of your roof. You're looking for shingles that are coming up. You're looking for spots that look damaged, especially around chimneys and where gables come into each other. And I'm sure Ray's company can offer roofing inspections for you, but that you can do a visual inspection yourself to make sure that you don't have any issues. You want to look at your gutters and downspouts. This is really important now that we're kind of in rainy season. You want to get those gutters flowing and the downspouts so that that water is going away from your home and not pooling up at the foundation of your home. We get so many pine needles and other types of debris in gutters that you really want to make sure that they're cleaned out. Many people, when they clean out their gutters, they'll put gutter guards on them so that they don't have to clean the gutters as often. Even if you do have those gutter guards, it's a good idea to do a visual inspection of your gutters and downspouts and make sure that they're working properly. A little fun thing that we do with our son is when it's raining, when we have a really good storm, we send him outside in the rain. He loves it, and he checks all of our gutters and downspouts to make sure that they're actually doing what they're supposed to be doing in the middle of a storm. So you can get your kids involved in this and make it a fun family activity. Most people have some sort of concrete surfaces outside of their home. It's a good thing to inspect those and looking for cracks. This can lead to finding foundation issues before they happen, tree branches, tree roots that are coming up into your home or to your concrete surfaces. So you really want to look at what those surfaces are. They could be a front deck, it could be a driveway, it could also be the foundation of your home where there's a large area of concrete that comes above the ground, but before you have siding on there, you want to look at those surfaces as well to see if you have any cracks. Outdoor faucets, they don't last as long up the hill. There's a little washer that is in those faucets that keeps them from spraying everywhere. So I know I went out the other day when we were turning our outdoor faucets on, and when we turned them on, they sprayed everywhere, and it meant that that little washer needs to be replaced. It's a pretty easy fix. You want to make sure that your outdoor faucets are working and you can turn them off and turn them on. And then also, since we're talking about weather, we need to turn those outdoor faucets off before we get into winter so that you don't have any freezing, and then we turn them back on in the spring. If you have an air conditioning unit or a swamp cooler, you need to have an annual inspection of those. The swamp cooler actually needs to be cleaned out because you want to make sure that you're not harboring any mold in the swamp cooler. Some of them have filters that need to be replaced. And then your AC unit that might be outside needs to be inspected and worked on as well. We spend a lot of time outdoors, so looking at your deck for signs of damage is another area that you want to look for. So we're looking for boards that are coming up, hand railings that are broken. You want to go under the deck if you can, and you want to look at your joists and make sure that you don't have any rotting or cracking joists, because that can cause damage. I understand that there was a deck that collapsed in Evergreen here recently, and it was some rotted joists under that deck that caused that. While you're doing this outside inspection, you want to look for signs of animal damage. That can be as little as woodpecker holes in your siding. It can be larger. We get raccoons or even squirrels that can try to burrow into your house. You want to look for any signs of that kind of damage and get it fixed as soon as possible. We had a customer who had a woodpecker hole, and it got so big that a family of birds moved in and built their house in the wood siding of this person's hole in their wood siding. So definitely, get those taken a look at. Your windows and door screens are another place to look. They can be easily rescreened, so you don't have to replace them. It's a fun family activity, and it's actually pretty easy to do. If you've got a dining room table, you just take the frame off. You buy a screen kit. It comes with a little, looks like a little roller, and you can actually replace the screens yourself. This keeps out the bugs. We don't have a ton of them, but I know that we've gotten a lot of moss this season. So keeping those windows and door screens intact is a good way to keep out animals. And then the last area of inspection that you want to look at is your fascia and your soffits. This is sometimes the one place where you can tell if there's water damage or if your gutters aren't working because you're getting water damage on your fascia or soffits that needs to be replaced. So this gives you a broad list of exterior inspection areas, but there are some areas that you want to maintain outside your home. Lawn care is one of them. And in this area, we look at fire mitigation as well, keeping a defensible space. I believe it's 5 feet from your house, clear of combustible materials, should be part of anyone's lawn care. Caulking windows and doors. This is a great activity to do in the fall as we get ready for winter. It's an area where you can lose heat from your home. So caulking those windows and doors will get you a good seal. Oiling your door hinges is definitely a way to keep that door lasting longer. This is especially important with sliding glass doors. They have rollers on the bottom of them that can get jammed up with debris. So you want to clean out those tracks with a vacuum cleaner. And then that way you can put a little bit of oil in that track and get that roller oiled. You want to test your sprinkler system if you have a sprinkler system. This is also something that you're going to want to blow out at the end of the season so that you don't have any freezing going on. And then when you're looking at your doors, you should also be looking for weather stripping. This is kind of the first area that goes on doors. They have weather stripping on the bottom. Some of them have them on the sides. But this is a way to keep all the elements outside of your home, and to keep heat inside your home. So that's the list of exterior maintenance items that you should be looking at. And then I mentioned our podcast. We do have a DIY podcast. It's every Thursday at 7 p.m. on Conifer Radio. And we go through what you should be doing on your home. We take requests from people on our email line of home repairs gone bad, and we try to help them figure out a way to turn them around. And then we also go through areas of DIY. So last week, our episode was on exchanging outlet in your home. And I went through all the steps that you need to do in order to change out that outlet if you want to get involved with some electricity. We're going to be coming up and doing one on how to change the seal on your shower door. There's a seal at the bottom that goes bad. And so we're going to talk about how to replace that. And we're also going to be doing one on caulking and how to caulk your house correctly. So this is a free community service that we provide we know there's a lot of DIYers up here, and we want to give you all the tools that you need to take care of your home. And that is my overview of how to protect your home investment from an interior and exterior perspective. If any of this is kind of too much for you, we do offer this service to our customers. Or if while you're doing your inspection, you find something that needs to be fixed, we would be happy to be that company that comes in and helps fix it for you. And I would like to open it up for questions if anyone has any questions for me.
Definitely. Thank you, Docia. That's great information. Do you ever, like, if there's 4 things on all of these lists that you gave us that I need looked at. Do you come just do an inspection for those 4 things, and what's the price range for stuff, or does it vary depending on what you need, or is it by the hour? How's it work?
Oh, that's a great question. So we offer a maintenance package. So if you want us to come and do everything that we just listed, it's $3.99. We do offer specials. There's one coming out in the Conifer directory that will be mailed out that has $100 off coupon off of our maintenance plan. But we can also just come out to look at just a couple of items. Our hourly rate is usually about $149 an hour to come out and do those type of items. The other thing is if we're doing another fix at your home and you need us just to do some quick maintenance or inspections, we can do that as well.
Okay. This is embarrassing, but like one thing I tried to do recently, we have a hand-me-down fridge. Some friends upgraded to stainless and gave us their hand-me-down fridge. It's probably been 5 or 6 years that we've had it, and we've never changed the filter because I can't figure it out. And I've tried to Google it. I've tried to Google the model, all those things. I mean, you don't have a stash of a kind of filter for every single fridge. Can you look and order the right thing or direct me in that direction?
Yeah, that's a great question. So what we do is before we do a maintenance is we'll ask you questions about your appliances. So one of the things we'll do is check what type of
Okay.
refrigerator you have, and we'll do a Google search to find out if that fridge has a filter. If it doesn't have a water dispenser, it is possible that it doesn't have a filter. Many of the new
No,
ones are kind of
it
hidden.
does.
Oh, okay. They're kind of hidden in the top of the refrigerator. And so we get that information generally off Google. So I'm happy to try to help you figure that out
Okay.
if you want to send me the type of refrigerator that you have. And don't be
Cool.
embarrassed
I'll
at
send you
all.
my list and see what we might be looking at.
We'd be happy to come out and help. It's the
Docia,
biggest investment that most people are making, and I'm surprised that there's so many people that don't know what to do to maintain or inspect their home.
Docia, I have 2
Cool.
questions.
Yes.
One is if you have a list of various items that you need to be done, preferably at once, is your entire team trained on each of those individual components so they can knock multiple things off a list? Or is it your team has specialties, and if you're doing exterior versus interior, you would need to send out, 2 different techs? How does that work for you?
That's a great question. We have techs that are pretty well-rounded, and our goal is to try to send you one person to get everything on your list completed. I would say 9 times out of 10, we're able to do that. Sometimes there are some specialty things that come up where we have someone who specializes in that, and we have to send out 2 people. Sometimes we do jobs that do require 2 people, and so we have to send out 2.
Yeah, that makes sense. My second question is, does your team do anything, or are you knowledgeable around carbon monoxide, like monitors or systems?
I mean, installing a smoke alarm and a carbon monoxide detector is about as far into it as we get. We work with the fire departments. A lot of times they'll recommend us to their constituents because they don't always do the battery changes anymore because the fire departments have been so busy. So we do those in coordination with the fire department. They're the ones who told us to try to get people to switch over to the 10-year versions because it helps prevent home fires, to know that that has a battery that's never going to go bad until the actual unit is expired.
Right. Okay, thank you.
And then for you, since I mentioned your roofing company, do you guys do roof inspections? If somebody.
We do. Yep, we offer complimentary roof inspections. So yes, we're on a lot of roofs every day. Yep.
And we
I
don't get on
need you at
roofs.
my mom's in Galveston at the moment.
We don't get on roofs at all. So if we have something, we will refer them over to Ray to help.
Awesome.
Awesome. Any other questions I can answer for anyone? If not, we'll give everyone back a little bit of time. I guess I rushed through my presentation, but there's really.
It was great.
Okay.
A lot
And
of
if anyone
It was
wants a
great.
copy of the presentation, I'm happy to send it out since it does list everything that you need to have done in your home.
I would like it.
Okay. What's the best way to send that out?
You know what, if
You
you
could
don't,
email it to Deb. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
I was gonna say, if you're okay with it, if you email it to me, when I send the recording out to the members, I can attach it.
Okay.
So then that way we all have it, because it was so thorough.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Perfect. I will, can I just send it to the Mountain Women in Business Gmail account?
Yes, please.
Okay, perfect. I will get that out.